Imagine investing $300 million into a movie, hiring the biggest stars in the world, building enormous film sets, spending years on production, then watching the film flop in its very first weekend. Just like that, hundreds of millions of dollars can disappear. It sounds like one of the worst businesses imaginable, and in many ways it is. Hollywood has produced some of the biggest financial disasters in corporate history. Studios regularly spend fortunes on films that never recover their costs. Even experienced executives with decades in the industry struggle to predict what audiences will actually pay to watch. So why do billionaires keep buying movie studios? Why do companies continue investing billions into an industry where failure is not the exception, but the expectation? Because Hollywood isn't really in the movie business. It's in the intellectual property business. When most people think about movies, they focus on ticket sales. Studios think much bigger. A successful film isn't just 2 hours of entertainment. It's the beginning of an entire ecosystem. One great movie can lead to sequels, television series, streaming rights, merchandise, video games, theme park attractions, licensing deals, books and toys. Even decades later, that same story can continue generating money. Suddenly, the box office becomes only one piece of a much larger machine. Take a franchise like Star Wars or Harry Potter. The movies themselves earned billions. But the real fortune came afterward. Every lightsaber sold, every theme park ticket, every streaming subscription, every collectible, every licensed product. The characters never stop working. Unlike factories, stories don't wear out. A great piece of intellectual property can continue earning revenue for generations. That's exactly why studios chase franchises so aggressively. Creating one successful universe is often worth far more than producing dozens of ordinary films. But building that universe is incredibly risky. No formula guarantees success. Hollywood has spent decades trying to predict audience behavior. It studies demographics, test screenings, streaming data, social media trends, international markets, consumer surveys. Yet despite all that information, nobody truly knows whether a movie will become the next billion-dollar phenomenon or one of the biggest failures ever made. That's because entertainment doesn't follow spreadsheets. People don't buy movie tickets simply because a film cost more to produce. Some low-budget films become global sensations. Some $250 million blockbusters barely recover their investment. Audience emotions remain impossible to predict perfectly. That uncertainty makes Hollywood one of the highest-risk industries in business. Then there's marketing. Many people assume the production budget is the biggest expense. Often it isn't. Major studios frequently spend another $100 million, or even more, promoting a blockbuster worldwide. Every major release becomes a global event before audiences even enter the theater. If you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us create more content like this. Because in Hollywood, opening weekend is everything. A strong opening creates momentum. News headlines attract more viewers. Positive word of mouth spreads quickly. Theaters schedule additional screenings. Studios earn confidence from investors. But a weak opening weekend can become almost impossible to recover from. Within days, cinemas begin replacing underperforming films with newer releases. Revenue drops rapidly. Unlike streaming platforms, theatrical releases have very limited time to prove themselves. Miss that opportunity, and hundreds of millions of dollars are suddenly at risk. Competition makes things even worse. A studio isn't competing against just one rival. It's competing against every form of entertainment imaginable. Streaming services, video games, social media, sports and views, podcasts, live concerts. People have more choices than ever before. Convincing someone to leave home, buy tickets, purchase snacks, and spend several hours in a theater has become far more difficult than it was 20 years ago. Then comes another challenge. Modern audiences aren't limited to one country. International markets now account for a huge percentage of blockbuster revenue. That means studios must create stories capable of appealing to audiences across dozens of different cultures, languages, and traditions. A joke that works in America might fail elsewhere. A historical reference may confuse international viewers. Even casting and visual effects can influence performance in different regions. Global success requires global appeal. And that's far more difficult than simply making a good movie. Yet despite all these risks, some of the wealthiest people on Earth continue buying entertainment companies. Not because movies are easy money, but because they're buying something much more valuable than ticket sales. They're buying stories that can live forever. A successful film isn't consumed once and forgotten. It can be licensed to television networks, sold to streaming platforms, released on physical media, translated into dozens of languages, and watched by new generations for decades. Every new distribution deal creates another stream of income from the same piece of content. Then comes merchandising. This is where Hollywood's economics become truly extraordinary. A child who falls in love with a movie may not stop at buying a ticket. They might want the action figure, the backpack, the video game, the t-shirt, the Lego set, or the Halloween costume. Suddenly, one fictional character begins generating revenue across entirely different industries. For the biggest franchises, merchandise has earned far more money than the films themselves. That's why studios think carefully before creating new characters and worlds. They're not just asking whether audiences will enjoy the movie, they're asking whether those characters can become global brands. Streaming has made those libraries even more valuable. Platforms like Netflix, Disney+, Max, and others are in constant need of content to attract and retain subscribers. Owning thousands of films and television shows gives media companies a powerful competitive advantage. Instead of paying licensing fees to competitors, they can fill their own platforms with content they already own. In many cases, the library becomes more valuable every single year. A movie released 20 years ago can still generate licensing revenue today without requiring another dollar in production costs. That's an incredibly attractive asset. Another reason billionaires love Hollywood is influence. Few industries shape global culture the way entertainment does. Movies introduce new characters, fashion trends, music, catchphrases, and even tourism destinations. A successful film can transform an unknown location into one of the world's most visited travel spots almost overnight. That cultural impact gives major studios influence extending far beyond the entertainment business itself. But none of this removes the enormous financial risks. Hollywood still operates on uncertainty. A studio may spend years developing a project only to discover audiences simply aren't interested. Changes in public taste happen quickly, and what looked like a guaranteed blockbuster during production may feel outdated by release. When companies compete to acquire famous studios or entertainment brands, they're not just buying films already released. They're buying thousands of characters, stories, and franchises that can be reimagined, rebooted, expanded, and licensed for decades to come. In the end, Hollywood proves a fascinating business lesson. Making movies is a terrible business. Owning unforgettable stories is an incredible one. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next video. Let us know your thoughts or questions in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.